Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Just a mat for class today. While you guys are getting to your mat, I'm going to chat with you about Cube Fit Trivia Mania. This starts on January 22nd. All you have to do is join the classes like you are now. And then at the end of every class, we'll have a trivia question. You're going to keep track of the ones you get right and wrong, and then you're going to submit your score at the very end. And then you'll be entered to win some at-home gym equipment. So it's going to be a fun one, and all you have to do is join the class. So you're already ahead of the game. We are starting on our backs this morning, and we are going to get right into it. Let me spotlight myself. And we're off. We're going to start with some gentle breathing. So if you have taken Pilates with me before in the last year, this class, we're going to go back to the basics a little bit, but there will be times or chances for you to progress and challenge yourself a little bit. But we're all going to start with breathing. Pilates is all about breath and core and how to use it properly. So I want you to take your hands and you're going to place them on your rib cage, just gently. You want to make sure your spine is heavy into the mat. Feel free to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. On your inhale, I want you to try to send your air into both of your hands. So you'll feel your rib cage expand, pressing into the hands. And then on your exhale, you'll feel your rib cage deplete or kind of come down and your hands come together. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. 2 more breaths, just like that. Trying to get a little bit more air in on the inhale and a little bit more air out on the exhale. Now you'll notice as you breathe out, your rib cage comes together and you'll feel some tensing across your core. That's exactly what we want. Those transverse abdominals go all the way there and they wrap around the center of your body, kind of like a corset. And that's the abdominal muscle we want to target the most in Pilates. So rather than our 8-pack here of our rectus abdominis that we mostly hear about in strength classes, we're going for the whole thing. So around the whole center of your body. Now I want you to move your hands down towards your hip bones. So you're going to find your 2 hip bones, and then right above that, you're just going to place your hands. You're going to feel the same thing on your inhale. You'll feel that area expand. And then on your exhale, you'll feel that slight tensing come across your low belly. Your hands will start to come together. Inhale, expand. Exhale, let it all go. So believe it or not, lying here and breathing like this is core work. So you're strengthening those core muscles. You're also strengthening the mind-body connection to those core muscles, which can be hard to target. So if you find it a little difficult this morning, that's pretty normal. We all have our good days and bad days. So sometimes you'll feel like you're really in tune and you can activate that part of your body really quickly. And other times it feels really difficult. So now we're going to take that up into a bridge. So go ahead and release your hands to the mat. On your inhale, expand. On your exhale, lower, let the core come down towards the mat, tense across. And then you're going to start to pick up your spine 1 vertebrae at a time from your tailbone all the way up to your shoulders. Inhale at the top, expand. Exhale, engage the core and roll it down, setting your spine down 1 vertebrae at a time, really lengthening through. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, engage, belly button comes down, tuck the tailbone so your pelvis tucks. And then you come all the way up. Inhale at the top. You're reaching those knees away from the shoulders. Exhale and roll it down. These should be done nice and slow. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, engage, roll it up. Maybe getting a little more articulation each time. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll it down. Beautiful. On this next one, we're going to hold it up. So inhale, exhale, roll up. At the top, we're going to keep our core slightly engaged. So on our inhale, We're going to feel that expansion more in the rib cage region, but we're keeping that low core engaged so it protects our low back. Our glutes are engaged. And then I want you to find that sensation of reaching your knees away from your shoulders. You might find that you get a little height in the hips. You're opening through the front of the body. You can pull those shoulder blades together to open the chest. We're holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down nice and slow. All the way to the bottom. Hug your knees in towards your chest. You can rock it out slightly, kind of giving your low back a little massage. Beautiful. Go ahead and place your feet on the ground, and we're going to start to march. So right leg comes up, left leg comes up. Now I want you to engage that core just like we've been doing, and think about keeping it engaged like we did in that bridge when we held it at the top. So your breath will come into your rib cage. Your low core will stay activated and engaged. So you should feel your low back kind of imprint on that mat at all times. Our goal today is to keep that engagement the entire time we're moving, no matter what position we're in. So we're going to start progressing this movement now. You get to decide if you stay at the modified level. So the first level is this, or if you progress with us, you can always try it and then go back. So the second level here, we're going to take our legs into tabletop and start that march again. So from here, we're tapping a toe and then bringing it back up. Again, keeping that low core engaged. This gets harder as we increase that lever length. So when my leg goes down, my low back wants to pop off the mat and create a hole. I want to prevent that from happening. So my core has to stay engaged as I march. I like to inhale down, exhale up. That helps that core engage on the part that's the hardest or the most amount of work. So when I lift my leg up, I want my core to engage even deeper to help me with that. Good work. Our next progression is going to be to extend the leg out long. So right leg goes out, comes back in, left leg goes out, comes back in. When we go out, the lower we go towards the ground, the harder it is to keep that core engaged. So you get to play with that. Maybe you aim it straight towards the ceiling. Maybe you come halfway. Maybe you're able to go all the way and still feel that connection. Totally up to you. Play around with it. Inhale out. Exhale, pull it in. Good work. You're here for 4, 3, 2, last one, and then I want everyone to join me in tabletop. So our knees are lifted, legs are together. Our arms are going to go out to the side. I'm going to scoot over just a little so I have some room. I want you to super glue your inner thighs and knees together so they cannot separate. Our arms are going to be our kickstand. We're going to start on our inhale to let our knees fall to one side, just about a quarter of the way. And then on our exhale, we're pulling that belly button in and letting those legs come back center. Inhale, we're going to the left. Exhale, pull the belly button in, come back center. So now as you get used to this, you get to decide how far you go. The same rules apply. So you only go as far as you can keep that core engaged. You're pulling it back center. When you lower, as you exhale, let your core be the first thing to activate, and naturally, those legs will start to come back center. It'll just be slow. And we like to move fast, so it's challenging to let that happen. This is really good for your spine health because it's training your core to move before your spine. We want our spine to always move second. We want the muscles around it to move first. We have 3 more here. If those thighs are starting to burn, you're doing it right. You're not alone. You're working them pretty good. Last one. Come back center. Now keeping those legs in tabletop. Our knees are
glued together. Hands are going to come behind our head, and now we're going to target that upper core, so our rib cage area. On our inhale, it can fully expand. On our exhale, we're drawing it down and letting that contraction lift our upper body, our chest, our shoulders up, and then inhale down. So it's a really intentional, slow crunch. That control on the way down is part of the work. So we don't want to just fall back down. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Good work. Those elbows stay wide. Head stays heavy in your hands. Activating that core first so it holds everything in that upper body. Here, I don't know if you can hear my breath, but it's shaky as I lift because I'm engaging that core so deeply. We have 2 more here, and then we're going to have a chance to progress. So you have the option to stay here. You can even lower your legs if your quads need a rest. I know mine are burning. Or you can add a leg extension. So as you lift, right leg goes out, and then it comes back in. Lift, left leg goes out. Then it comes back in. That same option for a challenge applies. If you go lower, you're just trying to keep that core engagement strong. Let it out. Pull it in. Good. Slow and steady. Keep that control. Find that length in those legs if you're extending. Almost there. We've got 2 more. Last one. Lower down, hug those legs in, or hug those knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. Good work. We are going to roll over onto all 4. So take your time getting there because you've been on your backs for a while. You're going to meet me with your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to start with a cat and cow. So I want you to inhale, drop the belly, create a big arch in your spine. Look up if that feels okay in your neck. On your exhale, you're going to move your core first. So pull that belly button up and in. Let it tuck the tailbone, round the shoulders, tuck the chin to chest. Now, when we drop down into that cow position, we want to move our muscles first. So intentionally let your back muscles pull together, shoulder blades lower, drop the belly and look up. Exhale, pull the belly button in, round it out, tuck the chin. Now you'll notice this is core work here. So even though it's a good stretch and mobility for your spine, you're strengthening that core. Using your breath to do it. We have 1 more each direction. And then you're going to meet me in the middle. So in the middle of those 2 extremes is our neutral spine. It's kind of like a flat tabletop. So our shoulders are packed, our core is engaged, and I should be able to set your favorite drink on your spine and it doesn't spill a drop. From here, you're going to extend your right leg out long. Now, when you do that, the shape of your back shouldn't change. Our cores remain engaged. My right leg is out. My right hip is facing the floor. I'm going to inhale, tap my toe on the floor. Exhale, squeeze my glute to lift my leg. And repeat that. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. Now, notice my lift is small. So a lot of times we want to make our lifts really big. But I don't want my spine to move because I want my core to hold it. So when I lift, my leg really only comes to hip height, maybe a little higher, and then I lower it. But I feel that work in my glute and my hamstring. Exhale as you lift, nice and slow. Keep that control on the way down. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. Keeping this right leg out. You're going to pull the right knee in. So you'll notice my low back rounds slightly. and then extend it straight out long. There's no arch in my back. Inhale in, exhale out. To progress this, you're gonna add your opposite arm, my left arm. I'm gonna pull elbow to knee and reach it long. We're moving slow. Pull it in like you're in slow motion. Exhale, straighten, length, length, length. Pull it in. Reach it long. Beautiful. You're here for 4, 3, 2. Last one. Extend. Hand and knee come back to the mat. Go ahead and shake it out before we move to the other side. Find that neutral spine again, pulling the core up and in, packing the shoulders. Our left leg goes out long. Make sure that spine didn't change. We're going to inhale, tap, exhale, lift. That left hip stays facing the floor the whole time. You're squeezing that glute to lift and lower. You might have a greater range of motion on this side, or it might be smaller. It just depends from side to side. Everyone's different. I stay on the mat. You've got 5, 4, 3, nice and slow. 2, keep those shoulders packed. Last one. Now pull that knee in towards the chest, extend it out long. Pull it in. When you extend, that glute engages. Now, if you want to progress, that right arm, opposite arm is going to extend, pull elbow to knee, reach it long. Either way, either variation, you're finding length. So you want a big, long, straight line from the top of your head to those left toes. Moving in slow motion. You've got 4 more. Keep that left shoulder packed, that right glute engaged so we're not falling over to the right. Let's do 1 more. I might have given you an extra. And then that hand and knee come to the mat. Good work. Go ahead and walk your hands forward, lower all the way down to your mat. Our last little bit here, our arms and our legs are going to go to the 4 corners of our mats. We're going to activate the back of that transverse abdominals. So we did the front, the sides. We did a little bit of the back already, but now we're going to isolate it. So to start here, I want your forehead on the mat. And on your exhale, I want you to practice pulling that belly button up towards your spine. This is a little different because you're lying on your core. So as you exhale, pull the belly button up and in. You'll feel it kind of pull away from the mat. You can even find a feeling of tucking the tailbone under in this position. And then inhale, release. Your forehead will be on the mat. I'm just keeping mine up so I can talk. Exhale, engage. Remember, this is all core work. Kind of like doing crunches, but you get to lie down. Good. 1 more, just like that. So that's the feeling we want. We want that engagement before we move. So now we're going to move the opposite arm and the opposite leg here. So I'm starting with my right arm and my left leg. I'm going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, engage my core. Drop the right shoulder and lift. Right arm and left leg off the mat. Inhale, lower, and then I'm going to switch. Exhale, engage my core. Hack my left shoulder. Squeeze my right glute and lift. Good. My head is going to lift off the mat with it, but my eyes are going to stay focused right in front of me on the mat. So I keep that nice neutral neck. Exhale, engage first. Hack the shoulder, lift, and lower. Again, this is meant to be done in slow motion. This extension of the spine, we should never rush into. This is something we really want our muscles to do first. We only have 2 more. You're almost there. Find that length even in this position. Last one, engage first. Lift, lower, and rest. Hands come under the shoulders. Go ahead and press yourself up onto all 4s. Take those knees wide. Press your hips back. Child's pose, rest. Forehead comes towards the mat. Start to deepen the breath, slow it down. Go ahead and walk your hands towards one side of the mat, keeping your shoulders facing the mat, reaching that right hip or the opposite hip away from the shoulder. I forgot I didn't tell you which side to go to, so I can't really use my rights and lefts. But just find a stretch that feels good for you. Go ahead and walk them to the other side. Big deep breaths in and out. Walk back center. Last breath. And then slowly rise up onto all fours. And when you're ready, make your way to a stand. Take your time. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if not, I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Kim.